Dumb sparrow got world while I breathe. I hope dumb sparrow got world.
Fate versus free will, or somewhere in between. Fate versus free will is a metaphysical, philosophical and spiritual question that men and women have looked up to the stars and wondered about from the moment human beings could utter such deep and perplexing questions. Sometimes when we meet a new person on our life journey, they do not seem new at all. The person seems so familiar, and you gel with that person straight away. It almost feels as though you've known them before, or that your individual paths were destined to meet. So which is it? Free will or divine and godly predestination? Or could it even perhaps be both? We are not alone when it comes to the tussle with the tangled web of free will versus fate. 3 famous philosophers also wrestled with the question of free will versus predestination. Dictionary. Word. Fate. Meaning, events which are predetermined. Plato, 428 BC to 348 BC, contemplated the notion of free will or destiny in his dialogue titled Laws, and arrived at the forever chicken and egg dynamic of free will versus predestination. Dictionary. Word. Predestination. Meaning, events engineered by a divine, cosmic or supernatural power. In Laws, Plato implied that human beings are able to choose their own belief system, which in this case simply means expectations, as opposed to a religious set of ideas. As a consequence of free will to choose what to believe and what not to believe, Plato philosophized that we are all individually able to determine our own chosen paths. However, Plato also postulated that whatever beliefs we hold true for ourselves sets in motion certain probable outcomes and eventualities. So, according to Plato, we have the free will to decide our beliefs, but fate plays a hand in the results thereafter. Scratch your head time. Psst, devil's advocate. The dumb sparrow critique of Plato's above ideas are that deep-seated belief systems tend to be formed due to the conditions we are exposed to, especially in early childhood, as well as our first experiences of new events in our lives. Now, this is not to say that we cannot change our perceptions, beliefs, and bitter-root expectations, but the subconscious mind is like a lazy, sleeping dragon, and unless we prod and probe it to a state of great awakening, we are largely at the mercy of beliefs taught to us by our parents or other primary caregivers when we were very, very young. Hence, it may well be that we don't really choose our belief system unless we do much shadow work to probe that sleeping dragon so we can consciously decide our own beliefs and expectations. Assuming that by nurture we don't consciously choose our own belief system might mean that we are likely more at the mercy of fate than free will. What do you think? Aristotle, 384 BC to 322 BC, was, in fact, Plato's learned student, But as all great students one day become the teacher, Aristotle had his own unique take and twist on the interconnection between free will and destiny, or as it is termed in the world of philosophy, free will versus determinism. Scratch head? What's determinism? Dictionary. Word. Determinism. Meaning, every event and action has a cause. Aristotle argued that not every occurrence or eventuality or action is caused by another occurrence or event, and instead, some happenings are caused merely by chance. However, it seems that even Aristotle was at times flummoxed by the whole fate versus fortune debate. In his famous work titled Nicomachean Ethics II, Aristotle suggested that every individual is the source and cause of their actions, and because of this, we are not subjugated to the forces of predestination, as we have a choice to do or not to do. It's plain to deduce that Aristotle was more heavily in favour of the free will argument, but nevertheless, at times he veered towards the counter-argument of chance, which is on the spectrum of fate, fortune, and destiny. Dictionary. Word. Free will. Meaning, to act independently and not be governed by destiny. Psst. Devil's Advocate. Dumbsparrow debates that whether or not every action is caused by a previous occurrence or action, or whether in fact that an outcome is not necessarily facilitated or born from a preceding eventuality, that nevertheless, Aristotle's above said philosophical train of thought doesn't really exclude fate. Put simply, in layperson's terms, so as to not induce brain ache, perhaps an event which seems like chance could actually be by design, and an act carried out by human free will may in fact be governed by the mysterious forces of fate and destiny. What do you think? Socrates, 470 BC to 399 BC, asserted in his famous dialogue called Phaedo that both free will and determinism help shape eventualities. For instance, free will doesn't allow a human being to sit on a cloud or leave cloud sitting to angels. Realistically, it's not possible for a human to sit on a cloud because this is determined by the physical law of gravity. So, although according to Socrates, free will was a prevailing factor in the course of outcomes and events, free will is constrained by the law of physics and biology. Socrates also knew that he would die, not so much in a predestined or fatalistic sense, but more than anything else, because death is a fixed law of nature. However, Socrates did allow for the fact that through his actions, to a certain extent, he had the free will to choose how he would or may die. Dictionary. Word. Fatalistic. Meaning, all events are inevitable because they are predetermined. Psst. Devil's Advocate. Dumbsparrow quibbles that even if one's actions grants them the free will to choose a certain fixed eventuality, one's actions still may be subject to the forces of fate and destiny. A certain action that one decides to take may logically appear to be made out of free will and choice, but perhaps every alternative choice one could have made would still have led to the same outcome, as the choice decided upon and acted upon. It may have taken longer for the outcome to have prevailed. More loops in the chain of events may have occurred, but the end result may still have ultimately been the same. Perhaps the greatest trick that fate plays is to present us with the illusion of free will, or in the whole fate versus free will debate, perhaps it's somewhere in between. What do you think? Quote by William Shatner. The conundrum of free will and destiny has always kept me dangling